So today I'm bringing to you my third mini reviews video, which are always just about sequels for me because I like giving full reviews, but not for sequels because it's really hard to go into full depth in a sequel without giving things away from the previous books, so that's why I do mini reviews on them, so I can still let you know what I thought about them. In case you want to see any of the full reviews of the first books in the series or mini reviews of the second books, if those are there, I will link all of them down below as well. Alright, so the first sequel I read is actually a trequel? It is the last book in the Blood of Eden trilogy, The Forever Song. I read this when it first came out in April? I can't remember. I think it was April. I gave the first two books in the series 5 stars, and I'm giving this one 4 stars. The reason I didn't give The Forever Song 5 stars is, well, first of all, it's hard to end off a trilogy and have everyone be pleased. I think a lot of people were probably pleased with the way it ended, and I was kind of pleased, I guess, but it was too cliche for me. I enjoyed the story. I really enjoyed the characters a lot. I'm really glad that Canon had a really big part in it, and Jackal really grew on me. The characters were awesome. Allie I didn't think was as awesome in this one. She wasn't like as badass in this one. She was just more, oh, I'm in love. What I was really hoping was going to happen in this one, I thought was going to happen. Some things started going down and I was like, yes, I was right, but then I was wrong and things changed pretty quickly, and I know if it went the direction that I wanted it to, I think the majority of people wouldn't have liked it, and that's why it didn't go in that direction, but I wanted it to go in a specific direction that it did not go in. But it was still a really good book. It wrapped up the series pretty well. 4 to 5 stars. The next one that I read is more of a prequel, I guess, or it is a prequel, and that's 4 from the Divergent series. This is supposed to be a collection of short stories told in 4's point of view before the Divergent books happen. Which I guess it is. It's like 4 short stories or 5 short stories or something. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 stories for 4! Because they all take place in order, it's basically just like a bit of a shorter novel. They didn't really feel like separate short stories to me. It felt like just a prequel novel to me because they all happened in order. There was just a bit of time in between each one is all. But I really liked it. I loved seeing 4's perspective and seeing like his vulnerable side and getting to know him before he became the strong, brave guy that he was in the Divergent series. And then of course I loved the last story that had Triss in it, where you got to see his parts of Divergent that we didn't get to see because Triss was telling the story. So that was really good. I read this in a day. It was for the booktubeathon, but I think if it wasn't, I still probably would have read it in a day. It was really good. Hard to put down. 5 stars. I do not have a review for Divergent because I read that before I started my channel. And then I read Requiem, which is the last book in the Delirium trilogy, and I gave this 4 to 5 stars. I gave Delirium 5 stars, and I gave Pandemonium 4 stars. And this is 4 stars as well, but I did like it better than Pandemonium. It wasn't really close enough to a 4.5, which makes me feel like Pandemonium should have been more like a 3 or 3.5 star, but I don't even know. 5 stars isn't enough to rate a book properly. So I did definitely enjoy this more than Pandemonium, but obviously not as much as Delirium. I didn't really like Lena in this book. I thought she was really annoying, and the guys were annoying too. They were all whiny, but what I really liked about it was Hannah's chapters, because this is told back and forth between Lena and Hannah, and I loved Hannah in this. She was awesome. I loved her story and what she was going through and how she reacted to things and what she did. I was always super interested in Hannah's chapters, and then when it went back to Lena, I was like, ugh, Lena, stop being annoying. But I really liked Hannah, and I really liked the way this ended. I loved the ending of this trilogy. I'm not going to tell you what I loved about it, but I really liked it. I liked the way it ended. I liked the note it ended on. It was awesome. That's my kind of ending. So yeah, this was definitely a good wrap up. 4 to 5 stars. And then I read The Dream Thieves. Okay, so, alright. If you watch or watched my Raven Boys review, you'll know how confused and conflicted I was with how I felt about the book and the rating. I did end up settling on 4 to 5 stars after putting up my review and thinking about it. But this one, 5 stars, for sure. It was so much better. I loved the writing in this book. It was just beautiful and like kind of elegant, and it was very descriptive without it feeling like someone was describing things to you. I don't really know how she did it, but I'm so jealous of Maggie. She's like an awesome author. I wish I could write like this. It's beautiful, beautiful, it was beautifully written. And the characters were so deep. Each and every one of the characters, even the character you're supposed to hate, I loved. And I loved everyone. And it's funny because not a lot happens in this one, to be honest. But it was still just so engaging, and just because there's so much happening with each individual character, but story-wise, not a lot happened, not a lot unfolded. But it was still, it was so good, and I really, really enjoyed reading this. And see, because the first one, it took me a little while to get into the story and into the characters, but with this one, I was already into it, so it was just like getting right into it right away and being able to fall in love with it as soon as I started reading it. I loved it. I loved so many passages in it. I loved the first page and the last page a lot. And then of course it ended on a crazy cliffhanger, and I have to read the third one, which it is out now, but I'll just wait until maybe someone buys it for me for my birthday or for Christmas or something. So good, 5 stars, awesome. You definitely need to pick up this series because it's so good. It's so good. Those are all the sequels / prequels that I've read in the past few months, and we will have another one again later sometime when I've read more sequels. Bye!